Joanna Duggar, the third eldest daughter of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, has long been a familiar face to fans of the reality TV series *19 Kids and Counting*. Known for her cheerful demeanor and close-knit family ties, Joanna often shares snippets of her life with followers on social media. Recently, however, one particular post seemed to catch the attention of many observers, not just because of its content, but also due to what some interpreted as an indirect message directed at her mother, Michelle Duggar. The post in question highlighted lessons Joanna claimed she learned from her mother-in-law, which inadvertently sparked speculation about potential tension within the famously tight-knit Duggar clan. The incident unfolded when Joanna took to Instagram to reflect on advice and guidance she had received from her husband Austin Forsyth's mother. In the caption accompanying a heartfelt photo of herself alongside her mother-in-law, Joanna expressed gratitude for the wisdom that had helped shape her approach to marriage, parenting, and faith. She specifically mentioned how her mother-in-law taught her the importance of grace, patience, and prioritizing relationships over perfectionism. While these sentiments were undoubtedly positive, they stood out against the backdrop of the highly structured and rule-driven upbringing associated with the Duggar household. For years, Michelle Duggar has been portrayed as the quintessential matriarch, a woman who embodies discipline, order, and unwavering commitment to traditional values. Her methods of raising 19 children have earned both admiration and criticism, particularly regarding her emphasis on strict routines, modesty standards, and religious teachings. Fans of the show grew accustomed to seeing Michelle as the guiding force behind her children's lives, instilling principles that aligned closely with their deeply conservative Christian beliefs. However, Joanna's recent acknowledgement of her mother-in-law's influence appeared to contrast sharply with this image, prompting questions about whether there might be underlying differences between the two women's philosophies. What made the post even more intriguing was its timing. Over the past few years, several members of the Duggar family have publicly distanced themselves from certain aspects of their upbringing, sparking debates about generational shifts within the family dynamic. From Jill Dillard's decision to move away from Arkansas to Jessa Seawald's candid discussions about mental health struggles, it seems clear that not all of the siblings share identical perspectives with their parents. Could Joanna's post be another subtle sign of evolving viewpoints, or was it simply a well-intentioned tribute that unintentionally invited scrutiny? As comments poured in, reactions ranged from supportive affirmations of Joanna's reflections to pointed remarks, suggesting she may have been subtly shading her own mother. Some fans defended Michelle, arguing that her teachings remain foundational to the family's success, while others sympathized with Joanna's apparent desire to embrace a different style of mentorship. Regardless of intent, the post undeniably struck a chord, reopening conversations about the complexities of navigating familial expectations versus personal growth. In dissecting Joanna's words, it becomes evident that the lessons she attributes to her mother-in-law represent a significant departure from the rigid framework often associated with Michelle Duggar's parenting philosophy. One key takeaway Joanna emphasized was the concept of grace, both in relationships and self-perception. This notion of extending compassion and forgiveness, rather than striving for unattainable perfection, contrasts starkly with Michelle's well-documented focus on maintaining impeccable standards in every area of life. For instance, Michelle has frequently spoken about her belief in adhering to strict schedules, enforcing dress codes, and fostering a culture of accountability among her children. While such practices undoubtedly contributed to the family's cohesion, they could also create pressure to meet high expectations, leaving little room for error or vulnerability. Another pivotal lesson Joanna credited to her mother-in-law is the value of patience, particularly in navigating challenges within marriage and parenthood. By prioritizing understanding and empathy over immediate resolution, This approach underscores a more flexible mindset compared to the decisiveness and structure Michelle is known for promoting. Michelle's public persona has always revolved around efficiency and discipline. She often shared tips on managing large families through meticulous planning and delegation. Yet, such strategies, while effective in maintaining order, can sometimes overshadow the emotional nuances inherent in human relationships. Joanna's appreciation for patience suggests a shift toward embracing imperfections and allowing space for organic growth, a perspective that diverges from the all-or-nothing mentality occasionally attributed to her mother. Perhaps most telling is Joanna's emphasis on relationship building as a cornerstone of her new outlook. Unlike Michelle's methodical approach to child rearing, which often centers on instilling moral and practical lessons, Joanna appears to prioritize connection and mutual support. Her acknowledgement of her mother-in-law's influence implies a recognition that nurturing bonds requires adaptability and emotional intelligence, qualities that may not have been explicitly cultivated under Michelle's tutelage. This difference in focus highlights a broader philosophical divide. Whereas Michelle's teachings lean heavily on external structures and measurable outcomes, Joanna seems drawn to internal, relational dynamics that foster deeper intimacy and trust. Ultimately, these contrasting approaches reflect not only generational differences, but also individual preferences shaped by unique experiences. While Michelle's methods worked exceptionally well for her large family, Joanna's endorsement of her mother-in-law's softer, more empathetic style signals her willingness to forge her own path. It's worth noting that neither approach is inherently superior. Rather, each represents a valid response to the challenges of raising a family in alignment with personal values. What remains striking, however, is how Joanna's reflections illuminate the subtle yet profound ways in which her perspective has evolved, and how those changes might resonate differently within the context of her upbringing. The revelation of Joanna's post has sparked widespread discussion among fans and critics alike, highlighting a growing trend of generational divergence within the Duggar family. Many observers see this moment as emblematic of a broader cultural shift occurring not just within the Duggar circle, but across similar conservative communities. For decades, patriarchal and hierarchical family systems, like the one led by Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, have thrived on uniformity and adherence to established norms. However, younger generations are increasingly challenging these structures, seeking to balance tradition with modern sensibilities. Joanna's post, whether intentional or not, reflects this tension, a desire to honor familial roots while carving out space for individuality and personal growth. Social media plays a pivotal role in amplifying these generational divides. Platforms like Instagram provide individuals with unprecedented opportunities to share their lives openly, often blurring the lines between private reflection and public commentary. In Joanna's case, her seemingly innocuous tribute quickly became fodder for interpretation, underscoring how easily digital communication can magnify perceived slights or disagreements. The immediacy and accessibility of social media mean that even subtle shifts in tone or perspective can be scrutinized and debated, turning personal posts into flashpoints for larger discussions about family dynamics and evolving values. This phenomenon is particularly pronounced in high-profile families like the Duggars, where every update carries weight beyond its original intent. Moreover, Joanna's actions align with the pattern observed among her siblings, many of whom have begun to assert greater independence from their parents' influence. Whether through geographic relocation, career choices, or candid revelations about their struggles, figures like Jill Dillard and Jessa Seawold have signaled a departure from the rigid conformity expected in their upbringing. Their decisions suggest a collective yearning to explore alternative ways of living that still respect their heritage, but allow for flexibility and self-expression. Joanna's acknowledgement of her mother-in-law's teachings fits squarely within this narrative, reinforcing the idea that younger Duggars are redefining what it means to stay true to their faith and family while embracing change. This generational divergence isn't unique to the Duggars. It mirrors broader societal trends, where millennials and Gen Z individuals navigate complex identities shaped by both tradition and progressivism. These younger cohorts often grapple with reconciling inherited beliefs with contemporary realities, leading to moments of friction as they push boundaries and redefine expectations. Joy-Anna's post serves as a microcosm of this ongoing negotiation, illustrating how even small gestures can carry significant implications when viewed through the lens of generational evolution. Ultimately, her story reminds us that change, though sometimes contentious, is an inevitable part of any family's journey forward. While Joy-Anna Duggar's post about her mother-in-law's teachings has undoubtedly stirred conversation, it is essential to approach the situation with sensitivity and avoid jumping to conclusions. Interpreting her words as a deliberate critique of Michelle Duggar risks oversimplifying the complexities of family relationships and personal growth. Instead, it's entirely plausible that Joy-Anna's reflections stemmed from genuine gratitude for the diverse influences shaping her life. Families evolve over time, and individuals naturally draw inspiration from various sources, including parents, mentors, and spouses' families. Acknowledging this diversity does not diminish the love or respect one holds for their biological family, but rather highlights the richness of shared experiences. Moreover, framing this incident solely as a generational clash overlooks the possibility that both Michelle and Joy-Anna embody complementary strengths rather than opposing ideologies. Michelle's disciplined approach to parenting laid a foundation of stability and values for her children, equipping them with tools to navigate life's challenges. Meanwhile, Joy-Anna's embrace of grace and relational depth demonstrates her ability to integrate those lessons with new insights gained from other meaningful connections. This synthesis reflects maturity and adaptability, qualities that should be celebrated rather than politicized. Ultimately, the narrative surrounding Joy-Anna's post underscores the importance of resisting polarized interpretations in favor of recognizing nuance. Human relationships are rarely black and white. They thrive on layers of understanding, compromise, and mutual respect. Rather than viewing this moment as evidence of division, we might see it as an opportunity to appreciate how different perspectives can coexist harmoniously within a family. By focusing on unity instead of conflict, we honor the enduring bonds that transcend individual differences and affirm the resilience of familial ties. Jinger and Jeremy recently welcomed their third child, a son, into the world, marking another joyful chapter in their growing family. The couple, who are no strangers to sharing glimpses of their personal lives with fans through social media and their reality TV appearances, have once again opened up about this latest addition to their household. Known for their transparency and faith-centered approach to life, Jinger and Jeremy took time shortly after the birth to reflect on the significance of naming their newborn, a process that was deeply meaningful and reflective of their values. For those unfamiliar with the couple, Jinger is one of the stars from TLC's long-running series *Counting on*, which chronicles the lives of the Duggar family as they navigate relationships, parenting, and their commitment to living according to their Christian beliefs. After leaving the show following her marriage to Jeremy, a former professional soccer player turned pastor, she has continued to share updates on her life through various platforms. Together, the couple has built a reputation for being open about both the joys and challenges of parenthood, while grounding their decisions in their shared faith. Their decision to discuss their newborn son's name carries weight not just because it marks an important milestone, but also because names hold immense significance within their belief system. For Jinger and Jeremy, choosing a name isn't merely a practical matter. It's an opportunity to honor God, celebrate family heritage, and set intentions for the kind of person they hope their child will become. This thoughtful approach underscores how much thought goes into every aspect of their lives as parents and individuals committed to raising children with strong moral foundations. As part of their announcement, Jinger and Jeremy revealed that they had spent considerable time praying and seeking guidance before settling on the perfect name for their son. They emphasized that this wasn't a decision made lightly or hastily. Instead, it involved careful deliberation and reflection on what qualities they wanted his name to embody. Their openness about this journey provides insight into their priorities as parents and sheds light on the deeper spiritual principles that guide them daily. In interviews and posts leading up to the big reveal, the couple teased snippets of their thought process, hinting at themes like legacy, faithfulness, and strength. These hints only fueled anticipation among fans eager to hear more about the special meaning behind their choice. True to form, when Jinger and Jeremy finally unveiled their son's name, they did so with heartfelt explanations that tied back to scripture, familial connections, and aspirations for his future, all wrapped up in a narrative steeped in love and purpose. This moment serves as yet another reminder of why Jinger and Jeremy resonate so deeply with their audience. By inviting others into such intimate aspects of their lives, they create space for connection and inspiration, encouraging fellow parents and believers alike to think critically about the ways small choices can shape something as monumental as identity. As we delve further into their story, it becomes clear that naming their son was far more than just assigning him a label. It was an act of profound intentionality, rooted in everything they hold dear. When Jinger and Jeremy first began contemplating names for their newborn son, they knew immediately that this decision would be guided by their unwavering faith and deep family traditions. For them, selecting a name was not merely about finding something aesthetically pleasing or unique. It had to carry significant meaning, reflecting both their spiritual convictions and cherished family values. In true alignment with these principles, they ultimately chose the name Eli, a decision imbued with layers of biblical resonance and familial sentiment. The name Eli holds a special place in biblical history, primarily recognized through the character of Eli, a high priest during the era of the judges in Israel. Eli was known for his role as a mentor to the prophet Samuel, fostering him in service to God from a young age. This aspect of mentorship and spiritual leadership resonated profoundly with Jinger and Jeremy, who aspire to nurture similar virtues in their own son. By naming him Eli, they express their hopes that he will grow to lead a life marked by wisdom, guidance, and devotion to his faith. Moreover, the choice of Eli connects personally with Jeremy's lineage. Within his family, there exists a long-standing tradition of honoring ancestors through names, many of which have biblical origins. Eli fits seamlessly into this pattern, serving as a bridge between generations past and present. It allows the couple to pay homage to Jeremy's forebears, while embedding within their son a sense of belonging to a larger historical tapestry woven with faith and familial bonds. The selection of Eli also reflects Jinger and Jeremy's desire to instill core values of humility and service from an early age. The biblical Eli, despite his prestigious position, is depicted as humble and dedicated to serving God faithfully until his death. His life exemplifies patience and perseverance, traits that Jinger and Jeremy wish to cultivate in their son. They envision Eli growing into a man whose actions mirror this scriptural legacy, someone who leads quietly yet effectively, prioritizing others above self-interest. In discussing the choice further, Jinger expressed how the simplicity and strength inherent in the name appealed to her maternal instincts. She described feeling an overwhelming sense of peace upon saying Eli, noting how its brevity encapsulates power without pretense, a fitting emblem for the type of grounded individual they hope their son becomes. Meanwhile, Jeremy highlighted the phonetic harmony of Eli, mentioning how its rhythmic cadence aligns beautifully with their daughters' names, Felicity and Evangeline, creating a melodious unity across all their children's identities. Ultimately, the decision to name their son Eli stands testament to Jinger and Jeremy's dedication to weaving together threads of spirituality, heritage, and aspirational qualities into the very fabric of their family narrative. Each syllable spoken carries forward stories of ancient prophets, echoes of beloved ancestors, and dreams for future endeavors, all encapsulated within 3 simple letters. Through this carefully considered choice, Jinger and Jeremy have bestowed upon their youngest child not just a name, but a legacy rich with purpose and profound significance. Choosing the name Eli for their newborn son was far from a straightforward process for Jinger and Jeremy Volo. The emotional journey they embarked upon was filled with moments of uncertainty, joy, and deep reflection. Both Jinger and Jeremy have openly discussed how challenging it was to find a name that perfectly encapsulated their hopes and dreams for their child, while staying true to their foundational beliefs. Initially, the couple faced a myriad of options, each carrying its own weight and significance. Jinger admitted to feeling overwhelmed by the vast array of possibilities. "It felt like every name we considered had its own story and implications," she shared. This complexity often led to sleepless nights where she and Jeremy would debate the merits of different names, sometimes leading to disagreements. However, these discussions were always tempered by mutual respect and understanding, underscoring their commitment to making a decision that aligned with their shared values. Jeremy recalled several instances where emotions ran high. "There were times when we both felt frustrated because nothing seemed to fit just right," he confessed. Yet, amidst these trials, they found solace in revisiting their core reasons for choosing a name. Their faith played a pivotal role in guiding their decisions, offering a compass that pointed them towards names with biblical roots and profound meanings. This spiritual anchor provided comfort and clarity during uncertain times. The turning point came when they stumbled upon the name Eli. At first, it seemed too simple, almost commonplace compared to other names they had considered. However, as they delved deeper into its biblical context and personal significance, something clicked. "It was like a light bulb went off," Jinger described. "Eli wasn't just a name, it was a beacon of our aspirations for our son." This realization brought tears of joy and relief, marking the end of their arduous search. Throughout this journey, the couple leaned heavily on prayer and sought counsel from close family members and friends. These interactions not only enriched their perspective, but also strengthened their resolve. Each piece of advice and every prayerful moment brought them closer to making a decision that felt divinely inspired. The final choice of Eli thus became a testament to their perseverance and unwavering faith, encapsulating not just a name, but a promise of love and hope for their son's future. Reflecting on this experience, Jinger and Jeremy expressed gratitude for the challenges they faced. "Every tear and every disagreement brought us closer to something truly meaningful," Jeremy remarked. The emotional roller coaster they rode together in naming their son not only bonded them more deeply as partners, but also affirmed their roles as parents committed to raising their children with purpose and integrity. The name Eli Volo carries profound symbolism that ties directly into the broader themes of faith, family, and legacy central to Jinger and Jeremy Volo's lives. For the couple, naming their son Eli is not merely a personal choice, but a deliberate act of weaving together their spiritual convictions, familial heritage, and aspirations for their child's future. This decision reflects a deeply rooted commitment to building a legacy that honors God while nurturing the next generation to carry forward timeless values. At its core, the name Eli embodies the enduring power of faith. In the Bible, Eli is portrayed as a figure of humility, steadfastness, and devotion to God, a man entrusted with guiding others toward righteousness. By bestowing this name upon their son, Jinger and Jeremy are planting seeds of spiritual aspiration. They envision Eli growing into someone who, like his namesake, leads with quiet strength and unwavering trust in God's plan. This symbolic connection reinforces their belief that faith should be the foundation of every aspect of life, shaping both character and purpose. Equally significant is how the name Eli bridges the past and present within the Vuolo family. For Jeremy, whose family has long held traditions of honoring ancestors through meaningful names, Eli represents continuity. It links their son to generations who have walked before him, carrying forward stories of resilience, devotion, and service. This familial thread underscores the importance of legacy, not just as a remembrance of those who came before, but as a call to action for those who follow. By naming their son Eli, Jinger and Jeremy are entrusting him with the responsibility of upholding the values embedded in his lineage: compassion, leadership, and an abiding love for God. Beyond its biblical and ancestral connotations, the name Eli also speaks to the couple's vision for their son's future. Jinger and Jeremy see this name as a declaration of hope, an invocation for their child to grow into a person defined by grace, wisdom, and servant-heartedness. These qualities align seamlessly with their parenting philosophy, which emphasizes leading by example and cultivating virtues that transcend material success. Through Eli's name, they articulate their desire for him to become a light in the world, impacting others with kindness and integrity. In the broader context of Jinger and Jeremy's life journey, naming their son Eli serves as a microcosm of their overarching mission. Their public reflections on faith, family, and legacy consistently highlight the idea that life's most meaningful work lies in building something lasting, something that points others toward truth and goodness. The name Eli encapsulates this ethos perfectly, symbolizing the intersection of divine purpose, familial identity, and aspirational living. It reminds us that names are more than labels; they are vessels of meaning, carrying within them the dreams, prayers, and promises of those who bestow them. Ultimately, Eli Vuolo's name stands as a testament to Jinger and Jeremy's unwavering dedication to living out their faith in tangible ways. It reflects their belief that every choice, no matter how seemingly small, contributes to a greater narrative, one that spans generations and glorifies God. As they embrace this new chapter of parenthood, the symbolism of Eli's name will undoubtedly continue to inspire not only their family, but also those who witness their journey. Through this act of naming, Jinger and Jeremy affirm that faith, family, and legacy are not abstract ideals but living realities, woven into the very fabric of their daily lives. Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo's decision to name their newborn son Eli is a powerful testament to how deeply intertwined their roles as parents are with their faith and family values. From the outset, it is evident that their approach to parenthood is not merely about raising children, but about cultivating individuals who reflect their deepest beliefs and aspirations. Naming Eli was not just an act of choosing a moniker; it was a conscious effort to embed within him the principles they hold sacred, principles rooted in scripture, tradition, and a vision for impactful living. For Jinger and Jeremy, parenthood extends beyond providing physical care or educational opportunities. It involves nurturing souls, instilling virtues, and preparing their children to navigate life's complexities with grace and conviction. The choice of Eli underscores this philosophy, as the name itself serves as a constant reminder of the qualities they hope to foster in their son: humility, wisdom, and servant leadership. By drawing from biblical narratives and familial legacies, they ensure that Eli's identity is anchored in something far greater than himself, a divine calling and a rich heritage that stretches across generations. Faith plays an indispensable role in shaping their parenting style. Every major decision, including naming their children, is filtered through the lens of their Christian worldview. For instance, when considering names, Jinger and Jeremy didn't simply seek something aesthetically pleasing or culturally trendy. Instead, they prayed fervently, studied scripture, and reflected on the attributes they wished to see mirrored in their child's character. This meticulous process highlights their belief that even the smallest details of life can carry eternal significance if approached with reverence and intentionality. In doing so, they model for their children and their audience the transformative power of aligning everyday actions with spiritual truths. Family values are equally central to their parenting ethos. Jinger and Jeremy emphasize the importance of unity, mutual respect, and sacrificial love within their household. By naming Eli after a biblical figure known for mentoring and guiding others, they subtly communicate expectations for their son to prioritize relationships and invest in the well-being of those around him. Moreover, their emphasis on connecting names to family history demonstrates their commitment to preserving and celebrating generational bonds. This practice ensures that their children grow up with a strong sense of belonging and purpose, knowing they are part of a story much larger than themselves. What sets Jinger and Jeremy apart is their ability to balance these lofty ideals with genuine humanity. They openly acknowledge the challenges of parenthood, from sleepless nights to moments of doubt, yet they face these trials with resilience grounded in faith. Their transparency about the emotional journey of naming Eli reveals a relatable vulnerability, reminding others that even the most devout families encounter struggles along the way. This honesty fosters a deeper connection with their audience, inspiring fellow parents to lean into their own values during difficult seasons. Ultimately, the naming of Eli encapsulates Jinger and Jeremy's holistic view of parenthood, one where faith, family, and future converge seamlessly. It is a poignant reminder that parenting is not merely about fulfilling responsibilities, but about sowing seeds that will bear fruit long after we are gone. Through thoughtful decisions like naming their son Eli, Jinger and Jeremy Volo exemplify what it means to raise children with purpose, equipping them to live lives marked by love, service, and unwavering faith.